Chosen one. Listen carefully. Heaven itself has pressed pause to draw your attention in this very moment. You did not stumble here by accident, nor are these words ordinary. This is the sound of a summons that goes deeper than your ears. It touches the marrow of your spirit. You are hearing the call that reaches beyond time, pulling you into alignment with the eternal assembly of the 144. Ling, you have always known you were different. Since childhood, you felt set apart, sometimes even isolated, carrying a sense of weight that others could not understand. That difference was not rejection by God, but the mark of being chosen. The world may have overlooked you, but heaven never has. Every tear you shed, every silent prayer you whispered when no one else was watching, was seen and collected. Now the hour has come where you must rise into the destiny that was written about you before your birth. The gathering of the 144, 000, is not a metaphor or a fantasy. It is a prophetic reality spoken of in sacred scripture. The vision of those who are sealed, those who are not defiled by compromise, those who walk in purity and truth. You are one of them. That is why your journey has been so heavy. Why the attacks against your soul have been so fierce, because the darkness saw your seal before you ever discovered it. Chosen one. There is a meeting convening in the heavens, and your name has been called. Do not dismiss this moment. This is not coincidence. This is divine intervention. You are being summoned into a council of destiny, a meeting where warriors of light are gathered, where crowns are distributed, where eternal purposes are confirmed. As Jesus himself declared in the Gospel of Matthew, chapter 22, verse 14, "For many are called, but few are chosen." You are not just called, you are chosen. This first stirring within you is the trumpet sound of awakening. It tells you that your wandering days are ending, that the time of hiding is over. You are not to blend in any longer, you are to stand out as a beacon. You are one of those appointed to bear the light in an age of deepening darkness. Every battle you endured was preparation, sharpening your spirit, teaching your heart resilience, and forging in you a faith that cannot be shaken. Listen, God is not summoning you to casual religion or empty ritual. He is calling you into the assembly of those who carry his fire. You are not chosen to simply survive. You are chosen to govern, to lead, to carry divine authority into places where others cower. The 144, 000, are not defined by numbers only, but by nature marked by purity, obedience, and an unshakable allegiance to the Lamb. And that is who you are, beloved. You may have felt small, overlooked, or insignificant in the eyes of people, but in the eyes of heaven, you are radiant. In the unseen realm, your light terrifies the powers of darkness. Demons recognize your authority even before you have fully stepped into it. They whisper against you because they fear what will happen when you awaken. That is why you cannot give up now, why you cannot surrender. This moment, right now, is proof that God has set his seal on you. Do not delay. Do not procrastinate. Heaven is calling, and the invitation is not extended to everyone, only to the chosen. The world offers distractions, empty pleasures, false identities, but you cannot afford to be entangled. You are summoned to something eternal, something holy. Stand still in this moment and feel the weight of eternity resting on your shoulders. There is a sound of a great assembly rising, voices like many waters, and you are being joined to them. The chosen ones are not gathered by accident, they are drawn by the Spirit. You feel it even now, a burning in your chest, a trembling in your soul. The undeniable realization that these words are not just for anyone, they are for you, chosen one. This is your hour. This is your summons. Do not silence it. Do not dismiss it. Rise and step into the council of the 144. Ling, if this word resonates in your spirit, then pause right here. Do not just listen, respond. Heaven is marking those who respond with faith, humility, and obedience. Let this be the moment you declare, I am chosen. I invite you like this message. Share it, so it reaches another chosen one who may be wavering, and subscribe, so you remain connected to every word heaven is releasing in this season. And now, as a prophetic act, type this number in the comments, 144000. This is not a game. This is alignment. When you type it, you are testifying before heaven and earth that you accept the call. You are summoned. You are marked. You are chosen. Chosen one. The moment you heard the summons, something deep within you shifted. It was not a voice like others, not a whisper of imagination, but the undeniable tone of eternity, reminding you that you were already set apart before the foundations of the world were laid. You are not drifting aimlessly through existence. Your life is not random. Every step, every trial, every delay was weaving into the pattern of destiny already sealed by the hand of God. When others saw you as ordinary, heaven had already stamped you extraordinary. Long before you understood faith, before you could even speak the name of Jesus with conviction, the seal of chosenness was already upon you. That is why storms found you, why betrayals broke your heart, why rejection seemed to follow you. It was never proof of abandonment, it was proof of your mark. The seal set you apart, not only from the world, but also from compromise. There were paths others could walk without consequence. But when you tried, conviction burned in your chest. You could not blend in. You could not silence your conscience, even in your lowest moments. Something inside you reminded you that you do not belong in darkness. That was the seal at work, holding you, protecting you, even when you did not recognize it, as was spoken in the sacred texts of old. 2 Timothy, chapter 1, verse 7. For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power, of love, and of a sound mind. Chosen one. Let this truth wash over you. The seal upon your life is invisible to the natural eye, but undeniable in the spirit. Angels see it. Demons tremble before it. Heaven has written your name into its eternal register, and nothing on earth can blot it out. That is why you survived what others did not. That is why you carried burdens that would have broken many. You were set apart, and that setting apart preserved you for this very season. Think back to the moments when you thought you would not make it through. Nights when you cried alone, believing no one understood. Days when the weight on your shoulders felt unbearable. Do you see now that it was all part of the refining, all part of the shaping? The seal did not keep you from storms, but it carried you through them. It marked you for survival, but not survival alone. Victory. The world may call it resilience, but heaven calls it chosenness. You have endured not because you are stronger than others, but because the one who sealed you refused to let you fall. Even when you stumbled, even when you strayed, the seal pulled you back. That is why certain doors never opened for you, why certain people could not stay in your life, why certain opportunities crumbled before you could step into them. You thought it was loss, but in truth, it was divine preservation. Beloved, do not despise the ways God has marked you. You carry a distinction that others cannot see. It is a signet of belonging, an invisible crown that rests upon your spirit. That is why you never quite fit in, why you always felt the edge of separation from those around you. It was never rejection, it was recognition. The Spirit recognized you as chosen, and so did the forces of darkness. That recognition caused you to be set apart. Now the time has come for you to embrace it fully. You cannot run from the mark on your life. You cannot erase it with rebellion. You cannot drown it in distraction. The seal of God is stronger than every chain that tried to hold you. It whispers to you now, pulling you out of the shadows into the light of destiny. Chosen one, feel the weight of this reality. You are not like the rest. You cannot walk where they walk, because your footsteps are ordered differently. You cannot love what they love, because your heart is tuned to heaven's frequency. You cannot settle in comfort, because you were made for conquest. Every fiber of your being was designed for a higher calling, a greater battle, and an eternal reward. And this seal, this setting apart, demands a response. You are not here to question why you are different, but to rise and walk in the authority that comes with it. When you finally accept that you were sealed, long before you ever understood, fear loses its grip, doubt loses its voice, confusion loses its shadow. The mark upon you shines brighter than the lies whispered against you. The world may never understand you, but heaven always has. You are chosen, sealed, and set apart for such a time as this. The mark is not fading. It is growing stronger, preparing you to stand in the company of the 144. Ling, this is your truth. This is your identity. This is who you are, chosen one. The seal upon your life has always created tension. You have carried the weight of being different, of walking a path that others did not understand. At times, you questioned whether something was wrong with you, whether you were being punished. But now you see clearly, your difference is not punishment. It is proof. Proof that you are marked. Proof that you are chosen. Proof that you cannot walk in step with the patterns of this world. Every time you tried to fit in, something inside of you resisted. You could not stay comfortable in compromise. You could not silence the whisper that told you, this is not who you are. That voice was the Spirit, pulling you away from imitation and into authenticity. You were never meant to blend in. You were always meant to disrupt darkness simply by existing. This is why people misunderstood you. They saw the fire in your eyes and called it arrogance. They saw the intensity of your spirit and called it stubbornness. They felt the weight of your presence and withdrew from you without explanation. What they could not name was the anointing on your life. What they could not recognize was the seal that distinguished you, and though rejection pierced you deeply, it was necessary to separate you from the noise of the crowd. Chosen one, remember this truth. Isolation is not abandonment. The wilderness is not punishment. It is preparation. The loneliness you felt was heaven's way of protecting your calling. If everyone had embraced you, you would have been tempted to settle, but God knew that comfort would weaken your mission. So, He allowed rejection to sharpen you, to carve out a place in your spirit where only He could dwell. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Jeremiah, chapter 1, verse 5. Before I formed you in the womb, I knew you. Before you were born, I set you apart. I appointed you as a prophet to the nations. This verse is not history, it is your reality. You were known before time, set apart before birth, appointed before you understood your own voice. That is why you cannot escape your destiny. You are not wandering. You are walking in steps that were already ordered. Every pain was part of shaping you into the one who could carry this mantle. Beloved, do not despise the weight of your difference. Do not curse the loneliness that shaped you. They are the very evidence that you belong to the company of the 144. Ling. These trials have carved strength into your soul, a strength that terrifies the enemy. That is why the darkness has targeted you since the beginning, not because of who you were, but because of who you are becoming. When you step into a room, atmospheres shift. When you open your mouth, the unseen realm trembles. Even when you feel weak, you carry an authority that is undeniable. The enemy's strategy has always been to blind you to this truth, to make you believe you are insignificant. But now, the veil is lifting. You see yourself as heaven has always seen you, marked, sealed, and unstoppable. Chosen one. This is the moment you must embrace the weight of being different, not as a burden, but as a badge. It is the evidence that you are alive in a generation of sleepers. It is the sign that you are awake in a time of deception. It is the confirmation that you are called to stand when others bow. Now pause here and let this truth anchor you. Your difference is your assignment. Your pain is your preparation. Your seal is your authority. And the loneliness you carried will soon give way to recognition. As heaven gathers you into the meeting of the 144, Ling, take a step of faith in this moment. Do not let this word pass you by like another message. Respond with a declaration that seals your agreement with heaven. Write these simple words in the comments. I choose light. Len. Why? Because by declaring it, you are doing more than typing letters. You are releasing alignment. You are testifying to heaven and earth that you will no longer resist the call of being different. You are proclaiming that you will embrace your identity, your seal, your destiny. And every time you see those words, you will remember this turning point. This moment when you chose to walk boldly in the identity that has always been yours. You are chosen. You are sealed. And your difference is no longer a burden. It is the crown you carry. Chosen one. The moment you step beyond your private struggles and into the vision of heaven, the scenery shifts. Suddenly, you are not only aware of your own journey, you see a vast assembly forming, a council of light that transcends time and place. This is the sacred gathering of the 144. Ling, a multitude not chosen by human authority, but by the eternal decree of God Himself. In this vision, you are not alone. You are surrounded by those who, like you, carry the weight of being different. Their faces reflect the scars of battles fought in silence, the strength of souls that refused to bow to darkness, and the brilliance of hearts set ablaze by truth. You look around and realize every chosen one carries a story of pain transformed into power, weakness turned into authority, silence turned into song. The gathering is not noisy. yet it is thunderous. It is not chaotic, yet it vibrates with energy. Each chosen one carries an unseen crown, and together they form a choir of authority, a council of purity, a fortress of light. Here, you realize that the loneliness you felt was never permanent. It was simply preparation to bring you into this company. You were not rejected to be destroyed. You were separated to be joined with those who carry the same seal. In this council, no one competes. No one strives for recognition. The very air is filled with unity, because every chosen one knows that their purpose is greater than personal gain. Together, they reflect the light of the Lamb, who stands at the center of the assembly, radiant and unstoppable. His presence is the anchor, the heartbeat, the reason they exist. The voice of God thundered in the book of Exodus, chapter 19, verse 5. Now if you obey me fully and keep my covenant, then out of all nations you will be my treasured possession. This ancient word resonates in your spirit as you stand among the 144. Ling. You understand now that chosenness is not only about privilege, it is about covenant. You are not called to shine for your own glory, but to live in obedience, to remain faithful, to embody the covenant that binds heaven and earth. The Council of Light is more than a gathering. It is a declaration. It declares to the realms of darkness that the Lamb has a people who cannot be bought. It proclaims to the nations that purity has not vanished, that truth has not been silenced, that obedience still burns like fire in the hearts of the chosen. As you gaze upon this assembly, you notice something extraordinary. Each chosen one carries a sound, a unique frequency, a voice that blends with others yet remains distinct. Some sound like trumpets, sharp and commanding. Others sound like harps, soothing and tender. Together, their voices form a song that shakes the heavens and terrifies the darkness. And in that song, you hear your own voice rising. The melody is not practiced. It is birthed from identity. It does not come from striving, but from belonging. And as your voice joins theirs, you feel a release, a freedom you have never known. The heaviness of rejection lifts. The chains of loneliness fall away. And you stand tall in the knowledge that you were always meant to be here. The Council of Light is not only a vision of the future, it is an awakening of the present. You understand now that you are already connected to this multitude, even before you stand with them physically. Your obedience joins you. Your purity seals you. Your unwavering faith writes your name in their company. Beloved, let this truth anchor you. You are part of something far greater than yourself. Every prayer you whispered in secret joined with theirs. Every tear you shed in silence watered the ground where their faith also grew. Every battle you endured was not isolated. It was shared in the spirit with this great company. You may not see them with your natural eyes, but you are already among them in the spirit. The Council of Light exists beyond geography, beyond time, beyond culture. It is a family united not by bloodlines of earth, but by the blood of the Lamb. And as you see it more clearly, you realize that this is not a distant dream. It is a reality unfolding even now. The 144. 000 are rising, not as celebrities, not as rulers of earthly kingdoms, but as servants who carry heavenly authority. Their weapons are not swords of steel, but words of truth, prayers of fire, and lives of purity. They march not for conquest, but for covenant. They live not for applause, but for obedience. And you, below the chosen one, are among them. You are standing in their council, carrying your flame, adding your voice, shining your light. Do not diminish yourself any longer. Do not believe the lie that you are alone. You belong to this radiant army, this unbreakable company, this eternal council of light. Chosen one. The atmosphere in the heavenly council grows still as a scroll is unrolled. Our voice, strong and steady, begins to call the names of those who have been sealed, one by one. Each chosen, one steps forward, their identity confirmed, their destiny declared. Then comes the moment you did not expect, the moment when your name is spoken. You hear it not as the world pronounces it, but as heaven has always known it. It carries a resonance that shakes your soul, as though every syllable contains both your past and your future. When heaven calls your name, it does not echo with shame, but with purpose. It does not recall your failures, but your faithfulness. It does not remind you of rejection, but of recognition. The sound of your name in heaven's roll call is unlike anything you have ever heard. It is the confirmation that you belong, that you are numbered among the 144. Ling, in that instant, you realize you were never overlooked, never forgotten, never disqualified. You were written into this moment before the foundation of the world. We are reminded through the writings of David in the Psalms. Chapter 139, verse 16. Your eyes saw my unformed body. All the days ordained for me were written in your book before one of them came to be. Chosen one. When you hear your name, something breaks inside of you. The lie that you are insignificant, the chains of doubt crumble, and the cloak of invisibility is torn away. You stand, seen, known, cherished. Heaven has recorded you, not because of what you built, but because of who you are in Him. This moment is sacred, and yet it is not only for you. It is a reminder that countless others wait to hear their names as well. Just as your heart leaps when you are called, so too will theirs leap when they realize they are not forgotten. That is why, beloved, the message cannot stay hidden in the shadows. Just as a candle on a table gives light to everyone in the room, so must this word travel to those still searching. Imagine a torch burning brightly in your hands. If you keep it hidden under a basket, only you are warmed. But if you lift it high, many can find their way out of the night. This is why I ask you, if this message burns in your spirit, do not let it remain with you alone. Share it as one passing the torch to another weary traveler. When you press the simple act of like, you are lifting the flame higher so others can see. When you share, you are handing that torch to someone who may be stumbling in the dark, desperately needing direction. And when you subscribe, you are not merely joining a channel, you are joining a procession. It is like stepping into the line of chosen ones marching towards Zion, ensuring that you will not miss the next word, the next vision, the next reminder of who you are. You are saying, I choose to walk with the company of light, not in isolation. Although, even more, beloved, if you feel stirred to donate, understand it as planting seed in fertile soil. It is like placing oil in a lamp so it can burn longer. Every seed sown ensures that the flame does not flicker out, that the message continues to travel across distances, reaching souls who may not have strength left to keep going. Your giving becomes more than money. it becomes bread for the hungry, water for the thirsty, fire for the cold. Do not think of it as loss. Think of it as planting a tree whose shade you may never sit under, but countless others will. Think of it as building a well where strangers yet unborn will drink. Every gift becomes part of a story larger than yourself, woven into eternity's tapestry. Chosen one. Your name is already recorded in heaven's scroll. But your obedience today can help another hear theirs tomorrow. Your simple acts of faith, whether through a like, a share, a subscription, or a donation, become channels through which heaven's roll call is amplified across the earth. This is not manipulation, it is multiplication. Just as bread was broken in the hands of Jesus to feed thousands, so will your actions cause this message to break into pieces that nourish many. Your agreement here, your support here, your participation here is a holy act, an echo of that moment when your name was called. And you said, "Yes, Lord, I belong." Beloved, never underestimate the power of your small obedience. Heaven does not count size, but sincerity. And when you step in faith, even in something as simple as spreading this flame, you are partnering with heaven to awaken the next chosen one. Your name has been called. You are recorded in the book. And now, through your life, countless others will be reminded that their names are waiting to be spoken to. Chosen one. The moment after your name is called, a new reality unfolds before your eyes. You begin to understand why the journey was so heavy, why the fire of affliction burned hotter around you than it did for others. You were not being destroyed, you were being refined. Every trial, every heartbreak, every season of silence was fire, shaping you into pure gold. The fire of refinement is not gentle. It strips away what is false. It burns off what cannot last. It reveals not only your weaknesses, but also your true strength. The people around you may have seen only your struggles, but heaven was watching your purification. The very flames that tried to consume you became the furnace that revealed your brilliance. Consider this: when a goldsmith places raw metal into the fire, the impurities rise to the surface. He does not abandon the process because the metal looks dirty. Instead, he patiently removes the dross, again and again, until he can see his reflection in the gold. That is what God has done with you. Chosen one. He placed you in the furnace of trials, not to destroy you, but to refine you until his reflection shines through you. The prophet reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, chapter 3, verse 13, "Their work will be shown for what it is, because the day will bring it to light. It will be revealed with fire, and the fire will test the quality of each person's work." Do you see? The fire was never your enemy. The fire was your training ground. Without it, you would have remained hidden, unpolished, unprepared. Through it, you became a vessel of clarity and strength, prepared for the weight of the assignment now resting on your life. Think back to the betrayals you endured. They hurt deeply, but they stripped away false friendships that could not walk with you into destiny. Remember the nights when resources dried up. Those seasons taught you to rely not on the world, but on heaven's provision. Recall the prayers you prayed with tears streaming down your face. Those were not wasted. They were the water that cooled the fire just enough for you to endure. Beloved, the furnace of your life has been fierce, but you stand here still. That itself is testimony. You have not only survived, you have emerged stronger, sharper, brighter. The pain did not crush you, it carved you. The fire did not silence you, it purified your voice. And now, heaven declares you ready. You are no longer raw metal, you are refined gold. Your story carries weight because it has been proven in the fire. Your hands hold authority because they bear the scars of survival. Your words carry power because they are not theory, they are testimony. Chosen one, do not despise the fire any longer. Thank God for it. Embrace it as the very process that transformed you from ordinary into extraordinary. The enemy thought the fire would break you, but it became the very place where you discovered your unshakable identity. And now, as you stand, refined, a prophetic act is asked of you. Just as metal is stamped after it is purified, so too are you invited to be marked openly in this moment, to declare not only to yourself, but to heaven and earth that you accept the fire, and you embrace what it has made you. I invite you now to write in the comments this number, 888. Why this number? Because it is the symbol of new beginnings multiplied. It speaks of cycles broken, of patterns ended, of a new day rising from the ashes of the old. By typing it, you are declaring, the fire has not consumed me, it has birthed me anew. I walk forward refined, prepared, and unstoppable. And do not underestimate the act. Heaven watches how you respond. When you declare with faith, even in something as simple as typing a number, you align with prophetic truth. You are saying, I will not waste my fire. I will not curse my trials. I will walk as gold tested and proven. Beloved, let this moment be a seal upon you. You are not the same as before. The fire has changed you forever. You are stronger, brighter, purer, truer. You are ready for the weight of glory that is about to rest upon you. Lift your eyes and see the furnace was only the beginning. From this place of refinement, you rise into authority. From this place of fire, you step into destiny. From this place of scars, you carry the power to heal others. The fire has done its work. And now the world will see what heaven already knows. You are chosen, refined, and radiant. Chosen one. As the fire of refinement subsides, a new awareness opens before you. The atmosphere around you thickens, as though unseen eyes are fixed upon you. It is here that you realize the truth. Your rising has not gone unnoticed. The watchers, both angelic and demonic, are trembling at what is unfolding within you. For a long time, you thought you were invisible, that your struggles went unseen. But in the unseen realm, your journey has been the center of attention. Angels marveled at how you endured, how you clung to faith when every reason to quit was screaming against you. Demons trembled because they recognized the seal of God on you. A seal they could not erase. They hurled attack after attack, hoping to break you. But each time you rose again, you became more terrifying to them. You may have felt weak in the moment, but in the spirit realm, you looked like a warrior rising from battle, scarred but unbroken, fierce and radiant. Darkness cannot comprehend how you survived, how you endured betrayal, rejection, and loss without surrendering your light. They fear you not because of what you have done, but because of what you are becoming, an unstoppable bearer of the Lamb's authority. The scriptures remind us through the writings of David in the Psalms, chapter 91. verse 11. For he will command his angels concerning you to guard you in all your ways. End of Chosen one. Heaven has always been near. While the enemy plotted, angels stood at your side. When you walked through danger, unaware, divine guardians shielded you from blows you did not see coming. Some of the battles you thought you lost were victories already secured by unseen hands fighting for you. And now, as you step forward, refined and awakened, the watchers take their positions. Angels are strengthening their ranks around you, for they know the weight of your assignment. Demons intensify their resistance, for they know time is short before your authority crushes their schemes. Both realms are stirred because your identity can no longer be hidden. This tension you feel in your spirit, the heaviness, the sudden shifts in atmosphere when you walk into a room is evidence of this unseen awareness. People may not know why, but they sense something when you arrive. Conversations shift. Energies change. Even hidden motives surface in your presence. That is the mark of one who carries divine authority. Do not be surprised. Beloved, if the resistance around you increases, the more clearly you step into your calling, the more violently darkness will attempt to distract or discourage you. But remember, their trembling is proof of your power. The attacks you face are not signs of weakness, but confirmations of your impact. And in the same way, do not be surprised if moments of supernatural protection multiply. Angels are not abstract ideas. They are guardians sent to walk with the chosen. Some you will never see with your eyes, but you will feel their presence in moments when peace covers you like a shield, when clarity pierces confusion, when sudden provision appears where none seemed possible. These are not coincidences, they are interventions. Chosen one. The watchers tremble because they recognize that the seal upon you is not just for survival, it is for dominion. You are not chosen to hide, but to confront. You are not sealed to merely endure, but to shift atmospheres, to dismantle deception, to bring light where shadows ruled. This is why the unseen realm responds to you. Your very existence disrupts the plans of the enemy. Think of it. When light enters a room, darkness does not debate it, flees. When truth speaks, lies crumble. When authority stands, rebellion bends. That is what you carry. You may not fully see it yet, but the watchers already do. And this, beloved, is why humility must anchor you. For though you are feared in the unseen, you are still a servant in the presence of the Lamb. Your authority does not come from pride, but from purity, not from ambition, but from alignment. The more surrendered you are, the more terrifying you become to the powers of darkness. Lift your head and know, the trembling you sense is not meant to intimidate you. It is meant to confirm you. You are walking into realms where your name carries weight, where your voice carries power, where your presence shifts the unseen. This is not arrogance, it is reality. And it is only the beginning. Beloved, chosen one. Remember this truth. You are guarded. You are recognized. And you are feared. The watchers tremble because the Lamb has risen in you. Chosen one. As the trembling of the unseen realm surrounds you, a deeper revelation begins to unfold. You realize that chosenness is not only marked by crowns of glory, but also by the weight of the cross. To be chosen is to carry both a crown that shines with promise and a cross that presses with sacrifice. One cannot be separated from the other. For too long, The world has taught that being chosen means only victory, applause, and triumph. But heaven's wisdom is different. In the kingdom of God, glory and suffering are intertwined. To wear the crown of light, you must also embrace the cross of surrender. To stand in authority, you must also kneel in humility. This duality has always been woven into your journey. The moments of elevation in your life were preceded by valleys of breaking. When doors opened, they came after seasons where every door seemed locked. When people honored your strength, they never saw the tears you shed in secret. This pattern was not coincidence. It was divine rhythm, crown and cross. Cross and crown. The Spirit spoke through the Apostle Paul in Romans, chapter 8, verse 17. Now if we are children, then we are heirs, heirs of God, and co-heirs with Christ. If indeed we share in his sufferings, in order that we may also share in his glory. And do you see it? Beloved, you are not merely carrying your own destiny. You are walking the same path as the Lamb. He bore the cross before he received the crown. He endured shame before he entered glory. And because you belong to him, your journey mirrors his. This is why your pain has always felt deeper than others could understand. It is not ordinary suffering. It is the mark of your inheritance. The cross you carried in secret was evidence that you were destined for a crown in the open. Each tear became a jewel. Each scar became a testimony. Each burden became a seed of authority. When others mocked you, heaven was carving dignity into your soul. When they rejected you, heaven was clothing you with honor unseen by human eyes. When you lost what you thought you could not live without, heaven was removing weights so you could run with freedom. The crown and the cross have been shaping you together, not one without the other. Beloved chosen one, never despise the cross. It is the place where flesh is broken, but spirit is reborn. It is the place where self dies, but destiny awakens. Without the cross, the crown becomes pride. Without the crown, the cross feels unbearable. But together, they forge in you the perfect balance of strength and surrender, authority and humility, glory and grace. This is why you could not quit. Even when you wanted to, something inside you would not let you lay down your cross. That something was the whisper of eternity, reminding you that the crown awaited on the other side. Others may have mocked your faith, saying it cost too much. But you knew in your spirit that every cost was investment. Every loss was sowing. Every burden was shaping. Think of the crown as the promise of heaven's favor, and the cross as the process of heaven's training. One day, you will stand clothed in garments of white, crowned with glory beyond imagination. But today, you carry the cross that forms your spirit, teaching you endurance, birthing compassion, molding your authority so it will never be corrupted. Chosen one, the cross on your shoulders has never been punishment. It is an invitation into partnership with Christ. Each step under its weight aligns you with his heartbeat. Each tear under its pressure draws you deeper into his presence. And when the day comes that the crown is placed on your head, you will wear it, not as one who sought glory, but as one who embraced sacrifice. This is the mystery of chosenness. It is not about ease, but about endurance. Not about applause, but about authenticity. Not about shining alone, but about reflecting the Lamb who bore it all before you. Your crown is waiting, but your cross is shaping. and both belong to you, inseparably. Beloved, lift your eyes even in the weight of your cross. See the vision of the crown already glimmering ahead. The path is narrow. The cost is great. But the glory that awaits cannot be compared to the pain endured. You walk in the footsteps of the Lamb, and that alone is the highest honor. The crown and the cross, they are not enemies but companions. Together, they reveal who you truly are, a chosen one marked by sacrifice, sealed with glory, destined to shine with the brilliance of eternity. Chosen one, you have carried the crown and the cross. And now heaven whispers another command: stand firm. This call is not casual, nor is it optional. The days you walk in are heavy with deception. Lies dress themselves as truth. Shadows disguise themselves as light. The temptation is subtle, yet deadly. That is why the chosen are summoned not only to believe, but to remain unshakable. Standing firm does not mean standing without struggle. It means refusing to bow, even when the storm howls against you. It means refusing to compromise, even when compromise would ease your pain. It means holding the line when others walk away, keeping faith alive when the world around you has surrendered it. This has always been the challenge of the chosen. You feel the pull of culture, the pressure of friends, the weight of your own emotions, yet inside, the Spirit whispers, do not give in. Do not trade your eternal inheritance for temporary relief. N. The prophet Elijah spoke as recorded in the first book of Kings, chapter 18, verse 21. How long will you waver between two opinions? If the Lord is God, follow him. But if Baal, follow him. These words pierce like fire even now. They remind you that wavering is not an option. To hesitate between obedience and compromise is to give ground to the enemy. But to choose the Lord fully and without reservation is to step into unshakable authority. Chosen one, you have seen how small choices lead to great turning points. One step in the wrong direction can open the door to confusion and darkness. One compromise can blur your vision and weaken your discernment. That is why heaven urges you now: be decisive, be unwavering, be firm in your allegiance to the Lamb. This is not an hour for half-hearted faith. The days ahead will shake everything that can be shaken. Comfort will crumble. Systems will fail. Voices of deception will grow louder. But you, beloved, must remain a pillar. When the winds of confusion blow, you must be rooted. When fear spreads like wildfire, you must carry peace like a torch. You may ask, how can I stand when the pressure is so strong? The answer is this: you are not standing in your own strength. You are upheld by the one who sealed you. You are anchored not by your willpower, but by his covenant. The same God who called your name in the roll call will hold you upright when the world tries to drag you down. And here lies the mystery: when you stand firm, others who are wavering will find strength in your stance. Just as a tree shelters many under its branches, so will your faith shelter those who are weaker. Your firmness becomes their inspiration. Your refusal to bow becomes their reminder that compromise is not the only option. But standing firm requires daily decisions. It means guarding your heart against bitterness, keeping your eyes away from deception, and aligning your steps with truth. It means remembering who you are when the world tries to redefine you. It means clinging to the eternal, even when the temporary feels overwhelming. Beloved, Let this message not pass without your response. You are standing at a line between wavering and unwavering, between compromise and conviction. Choose now which side you will remain on. Do not wait for another word, another confirmation, another sign. Heaven has already spoken. To seal this moment, write these words in the comments. I will stand. Then, why these words? Because they are more than a phrase. They are a covenant you make, publicly and spiritually. They are a declaration that tells the unseen realm, I refuse to bow to fear, to deception, or to compromise. I will stand with the Lamb, no matter the cost. And when you write it, you engrave it into your own heart, reminding yourself of the decision made here and now. Beloved chosen one, do not underestimate the power of this declaration. When temptation comes, these words will echo in your memory. When confusion surrounds you, they will become an anchor in your spirit. When doubt whispers, they will silence the lies. Your comment becomes your covenant, and your covenant becomes your shield. Stand, even if you stand alone. Stand, even when others mock. Stand, even when fear presses in. For you are not truly alone. You are part of the multitude, the 144. Ling, and your firmness joins with theirs, forming an unbreakable wall of light against the encroaching darkness. You are chosen to stand. You are sealed to endure, and you are destined to overcome. Chosen one. As you take your stand, the earth itself begins to tremble. What you feel in your spirit is not just personal, it is prophetic. Nations are shaking. Systems that seemed unshakable are collapsing. Powers built on lies are crumbling. This is not coincidence, it is fulfillment. You are living in the days where prophecy unfolds before your very eyes. The shaking is not to destroy you, but to expose what cannot last. Every kingdom built on pride must fall. Every structure erected in greed must collapse. Every voice rooted in deception must be silenced. And while the world panics, the chosen ones stand steady, carrying light that does not flicker even when everything around them shakes. Beloved, do not fear the trembling beneath your feet. Earthquakes in the spirit are not signs of your downfall, but announcements of your unveiling. When the dust settles, it will be clear who was built on sand and who was rooted in the rock, and you, chosen one, will remain unshaken, a pillar glowing with divine strength. The ancient words recorded in Hebrews, chapter 12, verse 27, declare, once more, indicates the removing of what can be shaken, so that what cannot be shaken may remain. Do you see? Beloved, the shaking is not your enemy, it is your unveiling. For when false foundations crumble, the true ones stand revealed. You are one of those true ones, rooted not in systems of man, but in the covenant of God. And yet, think of it, many around you do not understand. They see the shaking and only feel fear. They see the collapse and only sense despair. To them, the storm is only destruction, but you know it is divine construction. Out of the ruins, something new is rising. Out of the brokenness, a kingdom not made by human hands is appearing. This is why the message must spread. Imagine a lighthouse on a stormy shore. If its light shines only inward, the ships at sea will be lost. But if the light beams outward, Many will be saved from wreckage. This message, your message, is that lighthouse. Every time you like it, the beam grows stronger. Every time you share, the light reaches farther, guiding another soul away from disaster. When you subscribe, you are not merely pressing a button, you are anchoring yourself to a stream of truth that flows steadily in a world of confusion. It is like choosing to drink from a spring instead of polluted waters, returning again and again to refresh your soul. And when you feel stirred to donate, understand this: you are fueling the lamp that keeps the lighthouse burning. A flame without oil eventually flickers out, but oil poured generously ensures the light never fades. Your giving becomes that oil. It ensures that the message continues to travel, that the fire continues to burn, that the chosen scattered across nations can hear the call and find their place. Think of it like sowing seed in a field you may never visit. You may never see the harvest with your eyes, but generations yet to come will eat from its abundance. Or think of it as building a bridge across a raging river. You may already be safely across, but your sacrifice ensures others can pass without drowning. Beloved, this is what your simple actions do. A like is not small, it is a spark. A share is not casual, it is a torch in someone else's night. A subscription is not routine, it is a tether of connection to truth. A donation is not loss, it is planting into eternity. Together, these acts form a river of light that cannot be quenched. Do not underestimate what heaven can do with your obedience. Just as bread in the hands of Jesus multiplied to feed thousands, so will your small acts multiply to touch lives you may never meet. Someone on the edge of despair may be lifted by the word you helped send. Someone wandering in confusion may find clarity because you chose to keep the flame alive. Someone questioning their worth may awaken to their chosenness because you shared the message in time. Chosen one. You are living in days where every action counts. While nations shake, the chosen must act. While systems collapse, the chosen must shine. This is not the hour to remain silent. It is the hour to lift the flame higher, to build the bridge stronger, to sow seed generously into the soil of eternity. The shaking of nations is not to terrify you, it is to awaken you. Stand firm, shine brighter, and help the light travel farther. For every ripple of your obedience echoes in eternity. Chosen one, as the shaking of nations continues, a vision rises before your eyes. You see an army clothed not in earthly armor, but in garments of radiant white. Their steps are steady, their eyes unflinching, their presence unyielding. They are the army of the pure, the unbreakable ones, the 144, 000 assembled in strength. They march not for conquest of land, nor for crowns of men, but for allegiance to the Lamb who goes before them. Their unity is unshakable, their song unbroken, their banner untainted. And as you gaze upon them, you recognize yourself among their number. The same seal rests upon you. The same fire burns within you. The same light shines from your spirit. This army is unlike any other the world has ever seen. It does not draw its strength from weapons forged by hands, but from purity forged in fire. It is their obedience that makes them fierce, their surrender that makes them unstoppable. Their very presence becomes warfare. Their song becomes a sword. Their testimony, a shield. The voice of God speaks in Revelation, chapter 14, verse 4. They follow the Lamb wherever he goes. They were purchased from among mankind and offered as firstfruits to God and the Lamb. This, beloved, is the description of the army in white. They are not bound to earthly loyalties, for their allegiance is higher. They are not distracted by fleeting pleasures, for their eyes are set on eternity. They are not entangled by fear, for their hearts beat with faith that cannot be shaken. As you look closer, you see how each one shines differently. Like stars in a vast sky, some gleam like silver, others blaze like fire, yet all radiate the same source of light. Together, they form a constellation across the earth, each chosen one a beacon in their place, yet united in their purpose. You realize that the loneliness you carried was never a sign of being forgotten. It was the evidence that you belong to this company. The silence of your nights, the heaviness of your trials, the purity of your choices, all were signs of your alignment with this army. You were being prepared in secret for this public unveiling, and now you stand, shoulder to shoulder with them, clothed in garments washed clean, carrying the authority of those who cannot be broken. Your scars no longer feel like shame, they feel like medals of survival. Your battles no longer feel wasted, they feel like training for this march. Beloved, the army of white does not move with haste, but with precision. Every step is ordered, every action deliberate, every heart aligned. Their pace is steady because they are not racing for victory, they are marching from victory already won. They carry not uncertainty, but assurance. Not fear, but authority. You feel the rhythm of their movement, the harmony of their unity. It is not forced, it is natural, birthed from shared identity. Each chosen one knows they are part of something eternal, something larger than their own lives. And in this awareness, they are fearless. The sight of this army strikes terror into the enemy, for darkness thrives on division. But this army is united. Darkness feeds on compromise. But this army is pure. Darkness seeks to intimidate. But this army does not bow. They walk in white because they have been washed in blood. And they march forward because they know the Lamb has already overcome. Beloved, chosen one, you are not a spectator in this vision. You are a participant. You are one of the marchers, one of the bearers of light, one of the unshakable ones. Your place in this army is not earned by perfection, but by surrender. You did not climb into it, you were called into it. Lift your head, for the garments of white are already upon you. Do not look back at the stains of your past. Do not fixate on the scars of your journey. The army does not move backward, it presses forward, following the Lamb wherever he leads. And you, sealed and chosen, will not be left behind. This army does not conquer through violence, but through testimony. Their words break chains. Their prayers open heavens. Their faith shifts atmospheres. They march silently at times, yet their silence thunders louder than the noise of nations. They move unseen by many, yet their presence alters the course of history. And you, beloved, are part of this story. The army in white is not a distant vision, it is a present reality. You feel it already in your spirit, the alignment, the strength, the authority, the unity. Step boldly into it, for the Lamb has gone before you, and your place among the unbreakable is secure. Chosen one, you have seen the army in white. And now you are drawn deeper into the mystery of the number itself. For the 144, 0, 0, 0 is not an accident, not a random count, but a divine design, woven with meaning and precision. Every digit carries weight. Every multiplication reveals purpose. Every total sings of heaven's order. To human eyes, it may seem like just another number, but to heaven, it is a seal of perfection. 12 tribes multiplied, 12 apostles multiplied, a fullness upon a fullness, until it becomes a multitude beyond imagination. The 144. 0, 0, 0 is a sign that God wastes nothing and forgets no one. It is not chaos, it is completion. When you hear this number, your spirit stirs, because deep down, you know you belong in it. It is not about being flawless, it is about being faithful. It is not about being impressive, it is about being chosen. And though you have stumbled, though you have doubted, though you have faced seasons of silence, the seal of God upon you secures your place. Beloved, think of how the stars fill the night sky. Each one alone seems distant, fragile, and small, but together they weave constellations that sailors once used to find their way home. So it is with the 144. Ling. Each chosen one shines with their own flame, but only when gathered do they form the map of heaven's design. You may have felt like a single spark in the dark, yet in truth, you are part of a cosmic constellation of destiny. The Word of God declares in the book of Isaiah, chapter 43, verse 1, "Fear not, for I have redeemed you. I have summoned you by name. You are mine. Lo, chosen one." Do you see the beauty? You are not a number lost in a crowd. You are a name written in eternity. The 144. 0, 0, 0 is not faceless. It is filled with stories like yours. It is a tapestry of redeemed lives. Each one sealed. Each one known. Each one loved. This prophetic number speaks of wholeness, of unity, of completion. It tells the world that God always finishes what He begins. He does not start a work and leave it undone. He does not call and then abandon. He seals. He completes. He crowns. And you, beloved, are part of that completion. Think of it like a great symphony. Each instrument has its own sound, but when they all play together, the song is complete. Remove one instrument, and the harmony suffers. You are one of those instruments. Your presence, your voice, your obedience is part of the great song of the 144. Ling. Without you, the melody is not whole. Or think of it as a vast mural painted by the hand of God. Each chosen one is a brushstroke, a color, a shape, alone. Each stroke might seem small, even insignificant, but when the painting is revealed, every stroke matters. And you, beloved, are a stroke that cannot be erased. This is why the number matters. It reminds you that you are not alone, that you are part of something larger, something eternal. Your life is not wasted, it is woven into the divine pattern. Your struggles are not meaningless, they are part of the story of redemption written across time. And now, beloved, heaven invites you to declare your alignment with this prophetic number. Just as the number itself is not accidental, Your response in this moment is not casual. It is a way of saying, I know I belong. I know I am sealed. I know my name is written. Umsren, write this number in the comments. 1111. Why this number? Because it speaks of alignment, of standing in formation, of walking in unity with heaven's design. It is the number of pillars, of foundations, of unshakable strength. By writing it, you declare that you are in alignment with the prophetic number, that you stand as one among the chosen, that your life is part of the eternal completion. Do not see it as typing digits. See it as pressing your seal. See it as inscribing your agreement into the fabric of eternity. Just as the mark of God is unseen, yet undeniable, so too is your declaration a testimony that heaven receives. Below, chosen one, you are not forgotten. You are not misplaced. You are not wandering. You are aligned with heaven's design, woven into the tapestry of the 144, Ling, sealed by the Lamb, secure for eternity. The prophetic number sings of you, and your spirit responds, because you were always meant to be part of its harmony. Lift your head. You belong. You are counted. You are sealed. And your number is written in heaven, chosen one. After the revelation of the prophetic number, you are drawn even deeper into the mystery of sound. Suddenly, you hear it, a voice, vast and thunderous, yet intimate enough to touch your very soul. It is not one voice only, but many layered together, rolling like the ocean, resonant like rivers crashing into one another. It is the voice of God, described in the sacred writings as being like many waters. This voice does not merely speak, it shakes. It does not simply echo, it reverberates through the marrow of your bones. You feel it in the earth beneath your feet, in the air around you, and in the fire within you. Every syllable is alive, carrying weight, carrying creation, carrying command. The ancient words recorded in the book of Ezekiel, chapter 43, verse 2 declare, And I saw the glory of the God of Israel coming from the east. His voice was like the roar of rushing waters, and the land was radiant with his glory. Lo, you realize in that instant that the voice is not only communication, but confirmation. It is not merely information, it is transformation. When God's voice thunders, it does not leave you the same. It rearranges the landscape of your soul, aligning what was crooked, strengthening what was weak, awakening what was dormant. The sound, like many waters, reminds you that you are not dealing with the fragile whispers of men. This is the sound of eternity itself, of power unhindered, of authority unmatched. When it speaks, li dissolve. When it roars, confusion flees. When it resounds, faith ignites. Beloved, remember how many voices you have endured in your journey. The voices of critics who said you would never rise. The voices of fear whispering you were unworthy. The voices of shame that told you to hide. For years you listened, doubted, questioned, but now, in this moment, those voices are drowned out by the only voice that matters. The roar of many waters silences every counterfeit sound. You do not just hear it, you feel carried by it. Like a river sweeping you downstream, the voice lifts you and propels you forward. You cannot resist it, nor would you want to. It is strong, yet gentle, overwhelming, yet safe. It is the sound of home. This voice does more than affirm your chosenness. It anchors you in it. You realize that your place among the 144. 0 is not a fragile hope, but a fixed reality. The Lamb's voice seals it. His sound confirms it. His roar establishes it. You are not chosen by opinion. You are chosen by decree. Beloved, chosen one. There is a reason the voice is described as many waters. A single stream is beautiful, but it can be silenced. A single wave is powerful, but it can be resisted. But many waters, rivers converging, oceans colliding, cannot be stopped. That is the nature of the voice that claims you. It is irresistible, unstoppable, unbreakable. And here is the mystery. As you hear his voice, you begin to sense a harmony within yourself. Your own voice, once timid, begins to align with his. The roar of many waters awakens your own sound. Suddenly, you are no longer silent. You speak, you sing, you declare, and your voice carries the echo of his authority. This is why you were refined in the fire, why you endured the cross, why you resisted compromise, because the day would come when your voice would join his. You were not only chosen to listen, you were chosen to echo. You are part of the symphony of eternity. Your life, adding to the roar that terrifies the darkness and strengthens the saints. Imagine it. Beloved, your words, your prayers, your declarations, carried on the current of his voice, becoming part of the river of sound that flows from the throne. That is what it means to be sealed, to be chosen, to be aligned. You are no longer a whisper, you are a river. No longer a murmur, you are a wave. No longer uncertain, you are an echo of the roar like many waters. And as the voice speaks, the land itself glows. The vision you see is not dim or shadowed, but radiant. For the voice of God does not only thunder, it illuminates. It brings light into places that seemed irredeemable, glory into landscapes that seemed barren. You see with new eyes, perceive with new clarity, hope with new strength. Beloved, let this truth rest deeply in your soul. You are not sustained by human words, but by the roar of the divine. It is this voice that called you, this voice that sealed you, this voice that confirms you, and this voice that will carry you into the fullness of your destiny. Stand in awe, for the roar of many waters surrounds you even now. It will not fade, it will not fail, and it will never stop calling your name, chosen one. After the roar of many waters, you are taken into a vision both sobering and undeniable. You see before you a great division, a line drawn that no one can cross casually. On one side stand the marked ones, sealed and radiant. On the other side, those who chose rebellion, their light extinguished, their paths consumed by shadow. The final separation is not a concept, it is a reality. You feel the weight of it as though eternity itself leans upon your shoulders, for this is the moment where choices are revealed, where hearts are exposed, where allegiance is no longer hidden. The Spirit spoke through the prophet Malachi, chapter 3, verse 18. And you will again see the distinction between the righteous and the wicked, between those who serve God and those who do not. Then, this is the truth you now witness. The days of pretending are over. Masks fall. Hidden motives come to light. What was concealed in shadow stands revealed in clarity. The line is drawn. and no one can blur it. On one side, the sealed ones shine. Their garments are white, not because they were perfect, but because they were washed in surrender. They carry scars, but their scars are healed, testimonies. They stand unshaken, not because life was easy, but because their faith was unbreakable. These are the ones who chose obedience over comfort, covenant over compromise, the Lamb over the world. On the other side, you see faces heavy with regret. They once had the invitation, but they delayed. They once felt the tug, but they silenced it. They once stood at the threshold of destiny, but chose distraction instead. Now their light is gone, their strength withered, their inheritance lost. The sight pierces you. Beloved, it is not triumph you feel, but trembling. For this separation is not about superiority, it is about surrender. Those sealed were not greater, they were simply obedient. And those lost were not doomed, they were simply unwilling. You understand now why the Spirit whispered so urgently, why the warnings pressed so heavily. The line was always coming. The separation was always near. And now it is here. Undeniable. Irreversible. The final separation is also the final confirmation. Heaven testifies that the sealed ones belong forever. Their names are written, their destinies secured, their places assured. No power of darkness can snatch them away. Their obedience has anchored them eternally. Beloved chosen one, as you stand on the side of light, do not let pride take root. Let humility flood your soul, for you are here not because you never stumbled, but because you never surrendered your seal. You are here because you clung to the Lamb when everything else tried to tear you away. You are here because grace held you, mercy restored you, and obedience marked you. Look again at the line. It is sharper than a blade, clearer than glass. No one can straddle it. No one can cross it halfway. You are either sealed or unsealed, surrendered or rebellious, chosen or lost. And this reality presses on you with holy urgency. There is no middle ground in eternity. The final separation also reveals the justice of God. For too long, it seemed as if the wicked prospered, as if the faithful were overlooked. But in this moment, truth is unveiled. The proud fall, the humble rise, the liars are silenced, the truthful shine. Every hidden thing is brought into the light, and the scales of eternity are balanced. Beloved, let this vision anchor you in reverence. Do not take your seal lightly. Do not treat chosenness casually. It cost heaven everything to mark you. The Lamb paid with his own blood to secure your place. That seal is priceless. And this final separation proves it. And as you stand there, seeing both sides, a holy trembling fills you. For though the line is drawn, though eternity is fixed, you carry within you compassion for those who never chose. It is not arrogance that rises, but intercession. You long for every soul to step into light, for no one to be lost in shadow. This longing mirrors the heart of the Lamb himself, who desires that none should perish, but that all should come to life. Still, the vision remains clear. Not all will choose, and so the separation is complete. Light on one side, darkness on the other, eternity set, destiny confirmed. Beloved chosen one, never forget what you have seen. Let it keep your spirit humble, your obedience steady, your faith burning. For the line is real, the seal is eternal, and the separation is final. Chosen one. After witnessing the great separation, your spirit trembles with reverence. And yet, even as awe fills you, heaven speaks again. Your assignment does not end in the vision. For chosenness is not only about being sealed, it is about being sent. You are entrusted with an eternal assignment, a task that stretches beyond your lifetime, rippling into ages yet to come. This assignment is not a burden, but a mantle. It rests upon your shoulders like a cloak of fire, invisible to human eyes, but undeniable in the spirit. It carries weight, yes, but also glory. You are chosen to be more than a survivor. You are chosen to be a torchbearer, carrying light into generations that will walk after you. The apostle reminds us in his letter to the Corinthians, 1 Corinthians, chapter 4, verse 1. This, then, is how you ought to regard us, as servants of Christ, and as those entrusted with God's mysteries. Think of it like carrying water in a vessel. You are not the source of the water, but you are entrusted to carry it without spilling, to pour it out where the thirsty gather, to guard it against contamination. That is what your assignment is, to carry living water faithfully, ensuring that others drink deeply of the truth you bear. And, beloved, this is why the message cannot remain in silence. A flame hidden beneath a vessel warms no one. A river dammed cannot quench a single thirst. What you carry must flow. And here is where your obedience touches the practical. When you like this message, it is as though you lift the flame higher, letting its glow reach another soul lost in the dark. When you share it, you become a sower scattering seed across fields you may never step into. You will not always see where the seed lands, but heaven sees. Some may fall on hard soil, others on shallow ground, but many will take root in hearts desperate for hope. Your simple act of sharing may be the very spark that awakens another chosen one from their slumber. When you subscribe, you anchor yourself to the stream of revelation. It is like returning again and again to a well that never runs dry. In a world filled with noise, deception, and distraction, you choose to keep your vessel aligned under a steady flow of truth. That choice sustains you, and it keeps you walking in step with the 144. Ling. And yes, beloved, when you feel stirred to donate, know this: you are fueling the journey of the message itself. Imagine a caravan carrying bread through the desert. Without provision, the journey halts. But with your generosity, the bread reaches hungry travelers in distant lands. Your giving is not loss, it is distribution. You are helping the bread of heaven reach those who would otherwise starve in silence. Never underestimate the impact of your obedience. A like may seem small, but it is a spark in the night. A share may feel ordinary, but it is a torch passed into another's hands. A subscription may look simple, but it is a covenant of consistency. A donation may feel like a release, but in truth, it is planting into eternity. Beloved chosen one, this is how your eternal assignment unfolds, not only in visions, not only in prayers, but also in practical acts that keep the flame alive and the message traveling. For you are not only a recipient of the mysteries, you are a steward. And stewardship means multiplying what has been placed in your hands. Take this to heart. You are not asked to carry the whole world, only to carry your portion faithfully. like a single brick in a mighty cathedral. Your obedience may seem small, but without it, the structure is incomplete, like a single note in a grand symphony. Your sound may feel minor, but without it, the harmony lacks fullness. So I urge you, with sincerity and truth, do not let this message pass by untouched. Respond, not just with feeling, but with action. Let heaven see your agreement. Let the unseen realm witness your participation, and let the generations after you reap the fruit of what you chose to sow today. Finally, beloved, I invite you to anchor this word in your heart by responding directly. Type into the comments, "I receive my mantle." These words are not ritual, they are recognition. By writing them, you declare that you accept the eternal assignment, that you choose not to bury your treasure, but to release it, not to hide your flame, but to raise it, not to delay, but to walk boldly in your calling. Your mantle is already resting upon you. Your assignment is already written. Your response is the final seal. Step into it now with joy. For you were always meant to carry eternity in your hands. Chosen one. The vision continues, and your spirit is carried to the summit of Zion. It is not a mountain of earth, not one carved by human hands, but a holy dwelling clothed in glory. It rises above the storms of nations, above the shifting sands of empires, above the noise of rebellion. This is the mountain of the Lamb, the gathering place of victory. You stand at its base, trembling, not with fear, but with awe. For this is the place prophets spoke of, the place where heaven and earth converge, the place where the sealed ones are gathered. As your eyes lift, you see the Lamb standing in radiant majesty, his presence brighter than the sun, yet tender enough to draw every soul closer. Around him, the 144,000 gather, their voices united in song, their spirits unbreakable, their joy beyond words. This is not a scene of sorrow, but of triumph. Every tear once shed is transformed into a jewel of glory. Every scar once carried in silence is now a mark of honor. Every loss once mourned is revealed as preparation for eternal gain. Nothing has been wasted, nothing forgotten, everything redeemed. The ancient words recorded in the book of Revelation, chapter 14, verse 1, declare, "Then I looked, and there before me was the Lamb, standing on Mount Zion, with him 144,000 marked by his name." This is what you see, beloved. The Lamb, not distant but present. The chosen ones, not scattered but gathered. Their foreheads shine with his name, a mark of ownership, of intimacy, of eternal belonging. They are his, and he is theirs. The song they sing is unlike any other. It is not learned from books, nor taught by men. It is birthed from their journey, shaped in their trials, refined in their faith. It is a song of the redeemed, and only they can sing it. Each note is filled with testimony, each harmony layered with stories of survival, obedience, and devotion. And as they sing, heaven itself bends low to listen. Beloved, you realize something in this moment. The celebration of Zion is not merely about reaching the mountain, it is about standing with the Lamb. Zion is not a location, it is a union. To stand on Zion is to stand in covenant, to stand in victory, to stand forever in the presence of the one who sealed you. The atmosphere is unlike anything you have known. It vibrates with purity. It resonates with peace. It radiates with joy. No fear remains. No shadow lingers. No accusation whispers. Only light. Only truth. Only glory. You breathe it in, and it fills every weary place inside you, healing wounds you forgot you carried, restoring strength you thought was lost. Look closer. Beloved, every chosen one stands equal. No one boasts of being greater. No one laments being lesser. All shine with the same seal. All bear the same name. All radiate the same glory. Their unity is perfect because their focus is singular. The Lamb. You understand now why the journey was so heavy, why the refining was so fierce, why the separation was so final. It was all leading here, to Zion's celebration, to the moment where the chosen stand unveiled in their fullness. This is the destiny of the sealed, the inheritance of the faithful, the crown of the surrendered, beloved chosen one. Imagine it, the voices of the 144,000 rising together like a tidal wave of sound. Their song rolls across eternity, declaring the victory of the Lamb. Their praise becomes a fortress, their worship a weapon, their unity a testimony. Darkness flees, for it cannot withstand the sound of such purity. Creation itself joins the chorus. Mountains echoing, rivers clapping, skies resounding. And in the midst of it all, you stand, not as a stranger, not as an outsider, but as one of them. The same seal glows upon your forehead. The same song rises from your lips. The same joy fills your spirit. You belong here, fully and forever. This celebration is not fleeting. It is eternal. It does not fade with time or weaken with age. It endures, because it is anchored in the Lamb who was slain and yet lives forever. Every chosen one carries the memory of their battles. But now those memories are fuel for worship, not sources of pain. Every chosen one remembers the cost. But now that cost is revealed as incomparable to the glory gained. Beloved, let this vision rest deeply in your heart. Zion is not a dream, it is a destination. You are walking toward it, even now. Every step pulling you closer to the summit. Every prayer anchoring you deeper in its promise. The Lamb awaits. The multitude awaits. The celebration awaits. And nothing can keep you from it. For you are sealed, secured, and summoned, chosen one. The vision carries you beyond the celebration on Zion into a silence so deep. It feels like eternity itself is holding its breath. You stand still, and in that stillness you sense it, the seal of forever. It is not merely the mark placed upon you for this life. It is the eternal affirmation that you belong to God beyond time, beyond trial, beyond every shifting shadow of this world. The seal of forever is not ink on paper, nor is it carved by human hands. It is pressed into your very spirit, glowing with a permanence that cannot fade. Angels see it and honor it. Demons see it and fear it. Heaven sees it and rejoices. Earth may not always recognize it, but eternity already knows it. The ancient words recorded in the book of Ephesians, chapter 1, verse 13, declare, when you believed, you were marked in him with a seal, the promised Holy Spirit. And this seal is your unbreakable identity. It speaks louder than failures, stronger than doubts, deeper than fears. It cannot be erased by mistakes, nor undone by opposition. It is the eternal mark that says, "This one belongs to me." Beloved, think of all the names you have been called in your life. Some were kind, others cruel. Some lifted you up, others cut you down, yet none of them lasted. What remains is not what people called you, but what heaven has sealed upon you. You are chosen, marked, secured forever. The seal of forever is also your protection through storms and fire, through rejection and betrayal, through trials and tears. The seal has guarded you. It has been the invisible shield over your life. The reason you survived when others did not. The reason you rose again when you thought you would fall. And now, you see clearly, it was never your strength that carried you, but the seal of the Spirit upon you. As this realization floods your heart, you begin to perceive eternity differently. Forever is not distant, it is present. Eternity is not just what comes after death, it is the reality already woven into your spirit. You are living in it even now, breathing its atmosphere, walking in its truth. The seal does not wait until the end to mark you. It is already upon you, testifying that you are forever God's beloved. This truth carries weight. It means that your life is not fragile. Your purpose is not uncertain. Your destiny is not negotiable. You are sealed into an unshakable covenant. When the world crumbles, you remain. When darkness deepens, your light stands. When ages shift, your place in eternity does not move. Look again at the multitude around you. Each chosen one carries the same seal. Together, you form a community of the unbreakable, a fellowship of the eternal. The unity you feel is not temporary, it is forever. You will not be scattered again. You will not be forgotten again. You will not be silenced again. The seal binds you not only to the Lamb, but also to the great company of the faithful. And in this awareness, peace fills you. Not the fleeting peace of the world, but the unshakable peace of eternity. You no longer fear tomorrow, for tomorrow is already secured. You no longer fear loss, for what is eternal cannot be stolen. You no longer fear death, for even death bows to the seal of forever. Beloved chosen one, your journey has brought you here, to this final revelation, from the summons to the refinement, from the trembling of the watchers to the army in white, from the prophetic number to the roar of many waters, from the separation to the celebration. You now stand in the fullness of your chosenness. You are sealed, not for a moment, but for eternity. Lift your head, for the seal of forever shines upon you. Walk with confidence, for your destiny cannot be undone. Rest in peace, for your identity is unshakable, and rejoice, for you are one of the 144,000 marked, chosen, sealed forever, chosen one. Pause here and breathe in the weight of everything spoken. You have walked through the summons of heaven, the fire of refinement, the trembling of the watchers, the mystery of the prophetic number, the roar of many waters, the final separation, and the victory on Zion. Every word has carried you closer to this truth. You are chosen. You are sealed. You are forever His. Let the echoes of this message settle deep into your spirit. The world will try to make you forget. The noise will attempt to drown it out. But nothing can erase the mark upon your life. You were written into eternity long before time began, and you will shine long after time has ended. Do not fear the days ahead. Nations will shake. Systems will fall. Shadows will grow darker. But you are not fragile. You are not wavering. You are not ordinary. You are chosen, sealed, and secured in the Lamb who stands victorious on Zion. Carry this word with you. Let it steady you in storms, strengthen you in trials, guide you in confusion. And when you doubt, remember the roar of many waters. Remember the song of the redeemed. Remember the seal upon your forehead that testifies louder than every lie. You are His, now and forever. Beloved, your best days are not behind you. They are rising before you. Luminous with the light of eternity. Walk boldly, for you are a torchbearer, a marked one, a crown bearer, a sealed vessel of glory. The meeting of the 144. 0, 0, 0 is not only coming, it has begun, and you are part of it. Never forget, you are God's chosen one, forever and always.